What, you want to fight with us? Sure, we just... Greater than maximization ready. Your Pokemon... The weather is clear, how pleasant. Mewtwo used Max Knuckle. The attack was super effective. Mighty Anna has... Mewtwo used Max Mindstorm. The attack was super effective. Mewtwo used Aura Sphere. The attack was ineffective. Mewtwo used Swift. Vileplume has received 90 of damage. Mewtwo used Aura Sphere. The attack was ineffective. Vileplume has received... Mewtwo used Confusion. The attack was super... Mewtwo used Swift. Golbat has received 84 of damage. Mewtwo used Psycho Cut. Mewtwo used Aura Sphere. The attack was super effective. Raticate has received 188 of damage. 188s. Mewtwo has... Greater than Mega Evolution ready. Your... Mewtwo used Confusion. Raticate has received 133 of damage. Raticate used an attack, but failed. Mewtwo used Aura Sphere. Mewtwo used Swift. Venomoth has received 158 of damage. Mewtwo used Aura Sphere. The attack was ineffective. Venomoth has received... Mewtwo used Swift. Venomoth has... Mewtwo used Psycho Cut, but is immune. Shiftry used Mewtwo used Aura Sphere, but is immune. Gengar used Misfortune. The attack was... Rayquaza used Hyper Beam, but is immune. Gengar used Shadow Punch. Rayquaza used an attack, but failed. Gengar used Misfortune. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam, but is immune. Gengar used Misfortune. Rayquaza used an attack, but failed. Gengar used Confusion. Rayquaza used Air Slash. Gengar has received 162 of damage. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam, but is immune. Gengar used Misfortune. Rayquaza has received 6. Gengar used Shadow Ball. Groudon has received 73 of damage. 200. Groudon used Energy Ball. The attack was ineffective. Venomoth has... Groudon used Mud Shot. Venomoth has received 106 of damage. 85 214ths. Venomoth used Tackle. Groudon has received 12. Kyogre used a Turn Skip. Venomoth used Poison Fang. Kyogre used Hydro Pulse. Venomoth has received 85 of damage. 214ths. Kyogre has received 21 experience. Groudon has received 11 experience. A combat, sure, my Pokemon. Rayquaza used a Turn Skip. Cloyster used Scratch. Greater than Mega Evolution. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Cloyster has Rayquaza used Air Slash. Rayquaza used Hurricane. Sand Slash has received 222 of damage. 220 seconds. Rayquaza has received 44 experience. Greater than Flake Shower 9782 won the battle. Received 4890. Wow, you've trained a lot, right? Greater than Mewtwo used Max Mindstorm. Persian has received 235 of damage. 5. Persian used Growl. Mewtwo used an attack, but Persian used Mud Slap. Mewtwo has received 14 of damage. 320 seconds. Mewtwo used an attack, but failed. Tentacruel used Night Slap. Mewtwo used Aura Sphere. The attack was ineffective. Mewtwo used Swift. Tentacruel has received 58 of damage. Mewtwo used Aura Sphere. The attack was ineffective. Tentacruel used Night Slash. Rayquaza has received 43 of damage. Tentacruel used an attack, but failed. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Tentacruel used Gunk Shoot. Rayquaza has received 87 of damage. Tentacruel used Night Slash. Rayquaza has received 36. Rayquaza used Dragon Pulse. The attack was ineffective. Rayquaza used Dragon Pulse. The attack was ineffective. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. The attack was ineffective. Steelix has received 103 of damage. 260ths. Rayquaza has received 57 experience. Greater than Flake Shower 9782 won the battle. Groudon used a turn skip. Golbat used Air Slash. Greater than maximization. Golbat used Shadow Sneak. Groudon has received 13 of damage. Groudon used Max Overgrowth. The attack was ineffective. Groudon used Max Guard. Golbat used an attack, but failed. Groudon used Bulk Up. Golbat used Max Airstream. Groudon used Mud Shot, but is immune. Golbat used Max Airstream. Groudon used Bulk Up. Golbat used Air Slash. Golbat used Shadow Sneak. Groudon has received 8 of damage. Groudon used Energy Ball. The attack was ineffective. Golbat used Shadow Sneak. Groudon has received 10 of damage. Golbat used Shadow Sneak. Groudon has received 7 of damage. Groudon used Mud Shot, but is immune. Golbat used Air Slash. Groudon has received 32 of damage. 310ths. Rayquaza used Air Slash. Rayquaza used Hurricane. Ariados used Shadow Sneak. Rayquaza has received 25 of damage. Rayquaza used Dragon Pulse. Weezing has received 183 of damage. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Weezing has received 22 of damage. 205ths. Rayquaza has received 47 experience. Greater than Flake Shower 9782 won the battle. Received 5,000. Swellow used Brave Bird. Swellow has received 36 of damage. Greater than maximization. Swellow used Quick Attack. Rayquaza has received 59 of damage. 152 320ths. Rayquaza used Max Strike. Swellow used Mud Shot, but is immune. Rayquaza used an attack, but failed. Swellow Swellow used Mud Shot, but is immune. Rayquaza used Max Strike. Swellow has received 20. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Nidoqueen has received 109. Rayquaza used an attack, but failed. Nidoqueen used Scratch. Rayquaza used Dragon Pulse. Nidoqueen has received 100. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Nidoqueen has received. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Nidoqueen has received 170. Rayquaza used an attack, but failed. Nidoqueen used Crunch. Rayquaza has received. Kyogre used Hydro Pulse. Kyogre used Muddy Water. Swellow used Tackle. Kyogre has received 37 of. Swellow used Quick Attack. Kyogre has received 41 of damage. 232 3/10. Kyogre used Surf. Swellow has received 38 of damage. 0 230ths. Kyogre has received 52 experience. Greater than Flake Shower 9. Charizard used Flamethrower. The attack was ineffective. Greater than Charizard used Scratch. Kyogre has received 32 of damage. Sandslash used Mud Slap. Kyogre has received. Charizard used Dragon Rage. Kyogre has received 40 of damage. 193 3/10. Kyogre used Surf. The attack was super effective. Charizard has received 266 of damage. 0 2. Rayquaza used a turn skip. Vileplume used. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Vileplume has received 187. Rayquaza used an attack, but failed. Vileplume used Max Ooze. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Rayquaza used an attack, but failed. Weezing used Mud Slap. Rayquaza used Dragon Pulse. Rayquaza used Hurricane. Sandslash has received 200. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Ariados. Rayquaza used Air Slash. Weezing has received 109. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Weezing has received 14 of damage. 0 205ths. Rayquaza has received 47 experience. Greater than Flake Shower 9782 on the battle. Received 6. Rayquaza used a turn skip. Ludicolo used an attack, but failed. Rayquaza used Max Strike. Ludicolo has received 145 of damage. Rayquaza used Max Strike. Ludicolo has received 86 of damage. 0 230. Rayquaza used Hurricane. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Rayquaza used Air Slash. Rayquaza used Hurricane. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Venusaur has received 171 of damage. Rayquaza used an attack, but failed. Venusaur used Leaf Tornado. Rayquaza used Hyper Beam. Venusaur has received 60 of damage. 0 231ths. A combat. 4. My Pokemon and I are ready. Go Pokemon! Raticate used Bite. Groudon has received 33 of damage. Raticate used Quick Attack. Groudon has received 30 of damage. Raticate used Bite. Groudon has received 31 of damage. Raticate used an attack, but failed. Groudon used Max Guard. Raticate used Tail Whip. Groudon used Bulk Up. Raticate used Bite. Groudon has received 23 of damage. Groudon used Energy Ball. Raticate has received 98 of damage. Groudon used Energy Ball. Raticate has received. Gengar used Shadow Punch. Groudon has received 23 of. Gengar used Shadow Claw. Groudon has received 18 of damage. Gengar used Shadow Ball. Groudon has received 78 of damage. Gengar used an attack, but failed. Groudon used Mud Shot. The attack was super. Mewtwo used a Turn Skip. Golbat used Poison Fang. Mewtwo used Aura Sphere. The attack was ineffective. Golbat. Mewtwo used Psychic. The attack was super effective. Golbat has received 182 of.